Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of the Run in the Paint podcast. I'm Miles. I'm here with Joey, Nick, and Jackson, the full squad back together once again. Guys, how are you all doing today?
Let's go! Full squad is back. Feels like it's been a while.
It really
The
has
homecoming.
It is
Homecoming of sorts.
beautiful.
Exactly. Jackson, how are you doing today?
Mid.
Mid?
Got slandered before this, so I'm in a bad mood now.
It
Free
doesn't
pod
even
lobby.
matter that your Rockets are on the biggest winning streak of the entire last 10 years.
It seems so
We had a bigger
backwards.
one at the beginning of this season.
He's throwing hands already before we've even started. But we're coming off of a big week with a lot of crazy things that happened, mainly on the court, not a whole lot of off the court things to go over. But there are a bunch of games over the weekend that we should talk about because a lot of things were affected as far as the standings for the postseason. We've got to see a lot of teams maybe show their true colors in some good ways and some bad ways. But first, let's start with probably the best game of the weekend with the Denver Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks from Sunday afternoon. This was a treat. It's always fun when you got Luka and Jokic going at it. And in the end, Kyrie Irving made one of the most ridiculous game-winning shots ever at the buzzer to give the Mavericks the 107-105 victory. Guys, where do you want to start with this game? How should we unpack this one?
I don't know. I only watched 4 seconds of it.
It was nuts. I saw that shot was crazy, and
I saw.
it seemed like Jokic just had to tip his cap to Kyrie, and his reaction was my favorite part. Was just
He was just
like,
laughing. Kyrie
yeah.
was staring at his hand, and Jokic just like, dude.
There was nothing else he could have done, and Jokic looked like he just accepted in that moment the fact that Kyrie made a ridiculous shot.
Hats off to Kyrie.
It was a crazy shot.
We've seen it plenty of times in Cleveland. It's glad to see he's still got that Mr. Fourth Quarter clutch gene.
How do you, if you're Jason Kidd, how do you make that decision between who gets that shot? Because if it was me, it's based on the game specific.
That's the good thing about having those good players, because it just goes on who's hot.
Right.
That's how I would do it as well, though.
Well, it also goes when you're drawing up the play out of bounds. You set up you have both of those guys as options. So I'm sure, like looking at the play, they had Luka coming out first. He was getting held off, I believe, by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope defensively at the top of the key. So they gave it to Kyrie in the corner, and he just drove. And I just still can't believe it. A left-handed runner from like the college 3-point line or the high school 3-point line. Absurd stuff from Kyrie.
It wasn't even like would you call it a runner? It was almost like a runner hook. Like he was moving.
It was almost a hook.
It was like a hook shot. Like, I don't even know what to call it, but yeah, the stars really showed out in this one. Luka and Kyrie, the NBA's best scoring duo, were at it again. They combined for 61 points. Luka with 37, Kyrie with 24, and then for the Nuggets, Jokic didn't have the loudest game, only 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, but his impact was huge once again for the Nuggets, because when he was off the floor, that's really where the Nuggets lost this game. They were having a problem getting rebounds against the Mavericks bench, which now has more bigs, and that's really where they lost it. At this time of year, I start to focus on teams, and when they're healthy, I begin to focus on their rotations and how they, as far as minutes go, and see how they, throw their minutes around. And for the last couple weeks, they've been playing Jamal Murray with 4 bench guys to start the second and fourth quarters. And that's been working recently, but in this one, they lost those minutes by 12 points.
Yeah.
Which is something that you maybe need to worry about with this team come playoff time. The non-Jokic minutes.
That's a good point, because it seems like, especially with Dallas, when you said they're two bigs that they have now, it seems like everyone's kind of loading up for Denver. That's kind of been the theme. Like, how are we gonna find an answer to stop Jokic and them? Everyone's loading up to try and do that, but there is, I think, a hole sort of maybe when Jokic isn't out there. I think you're exactly right. It's a good point.
As I say, I think I saw it like a while ago. I think it was the Denver, was it the Suns game or whatever?
Yeah.
That went to overtime, and it was almost the same thing. I saw like when Jokic was on the bench and they couldn't have him sit for long because it went from them having like a 5-point lead to they were down by 2 and he was only out for like 3-4 minutes. Like it was almost like a 10-point swing, like in 3 minutes.
Yeah, he played 39 minutes against Dallas the other day, and I don't know, is that sustainable for 28 a deep playoff push? 28. Well, you don't have to play 28 games to go 7 series every 7 games.
Was last year, because if I'm remembering correctly, the Nuggets when Jokic was off the floor, for the most part, they had Aaron Gordon play the small ball 5. In this game,
and I like that
lineup.
I like that lineup
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, I like that way more than them. They've tried Zeke Naji at certain times, DeAndre Jordan, but I think that having Gordon as that small ball 5 is definitely perfect. They may have gone away from it in this game just because of the Mavericks bigs. I mean, they've got so many. They've got 4 really decent, rebounding bigs out there that can all play right around 24 to 30 minutes per game.
Yeah. Dallas added depth at the deadline. They added
and it's
depth.
Been paying off huge. Same with the defensive end. I know we've talked about it before, but like PJ Washington has really added for the defense and has been playing stellar when they were top 5 worst defenses in the league before that trade.
Yeah, I know we were trashing their defense a little bit on this podcast when they made Jackson was. Jackson was, but it's actually been very, very solid, and it's a big win for the Mavericks. I mean, we'll get into other games and how the Western Conference standings look as we're, about a month left in the regular season. But this is a huge win and just a heartbreaking loss for Denver. I mean, Denver, so they're, I believe, 11-2 since the All-Star break, and their 2 losses have come at the buzzer to Kyrie and that overtime game you mentioned, Joey, against Phoenix when Kevin Durant made a 3. So
yeah,
their only 2 losses have been super close. So I mean, they're still looking really, really fine.
I was gonna say, it doesn't change a whole lot for Denver. Like, hey, you lost a crazy buzzer beater shot to Kyrie and the Mavs. Like, hey, hats off. Like what Nick said, Jokic could just tip his hat to him, but that's it. Like that's all you can do. That's congrats. You're in a 7-game series against the Mavs. They can take 1 or 2 games like that. You can win the other 4.
Yeah. So Jokic, I'm just looking at his playoffs from last year. The last 9 games they played between Miami and LA, he only played under 40 minutes twice. So that does seem to be the standard.
Yeah.
But they can't do that for the rest of the regular season and then go into the playoffs and do that. That might not be sustainable.
Yeah, like
it's a good point because they are fighting.
Yeah.
Something that was mentioned a lot on the broadcast was Michael Malone saying that, the number 1 seed was very important for us last season to, advance the way we did and, have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. And we want to do that again, but we're not going to risk our players' health necessarily to get that, which I think is the right move, especially if OKC gets the 1 seed, because the Nuggets would probably be favored in that series. Jackson, do you have any thoughts about the Nuggets and the Mavericks moving forward?
Moving forward, I mean, I don't think Denver should worry at all. I think the Mavericks are looking good. I think they could probably make a pretty good playoff run. But also, they're not beating Denver in a series still, I don't think. Yeah, you took 1 game, but you're not, 16, 11, and 7 for Jokic. You're not going to hold him to that every night.
Yeah.
No.
True.
Not at
Especially when it's a short rotation, he's playing more minutes.
Yeah. True. I guess along with Jokic in the playoffs last year, I forgot current Rocket Jeff Green was basically their backup 5 as well. I forgot about that too. The Nuggets just don't really have the bodies at the backup 5, that they did last year. But with the Mavericks, looking at their schedule, they have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. Coming up, they have Sacramento, San Antonio, 2 games against Utah. Their toughest stretch is this 6 games where they play Sacramento twice, Houston, who's been, hot of late, Golden State, Atlanta, and Golden State again. And then it's basically just smooth sailing after that. Charlotte, Houston, Miami, Detroit, and then their last game is OKC. Now that could be a big game, but
that all sounds like smooth sailing.
I was about to say,
there's not Kings. They're not worried about the Kings.
The Kings will beat them.
I know. I believe Phoenix has a pretty tough schedule down the stretch. Is that right?
Yes, they do. We'll get to Phoenix in a little bit, but Dallas, they could definitely get up to the 6th seed where the Kings are right now, just because their schedule is easier than these other teams. But overall, go ahead.
Those Kings games will be crucial. This upcoming ones, those Kings are going to be crucial.
Competitive basketball, I would imagine.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. But just great game over the weekend. Just a lot of fun to see all those stars show out. And shout out to Kyrie for hitting that ridiculous shot. We'll be talking about him some more later on in the podcast. Moving on, let's go to, I guess, the first game on Sunday afternoon with the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo missed this game. It's the 4th game he's missed this season with a hamstring injury. So coming in, I'm sure most fans were expecting the Suns to come out with a lot of energy, come out with a sense of urgency, considering their place in the standings. They're currently fighting to get out of the play-in tournament, similar to the Mavericks. But that is not at all what ended up happening. The Bucks scored 82 points in the first half, tying an NBA record with 18 made threes in the first half. And they eventually came out with the 140-122 victory over the Suns. This was a shocker.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I have a bold prediction. I think the Bucks are better with Chris Middleton. I think they're slightly better. They're a bit better of a basketball team when he's on the court.
I would definitely agree with that for sure. Yeah, Middleton made his return. He's missed the last while. I'm not sure how long, but it's been a while since he's really played. Nick, if you want to check.
Statement.
But yeah, Middleton.
They're better with their 3rd best player. Yeah, no duh.
But Middleton had 22 points and 7 assists.
It's almost like we forget that Middleton was an all-star a couple years ago.
Yeah, because of his injuries,
he hasn't been able to get back there.
We forget that he's a good player. Even last season in the playoffs, even though the Bucks got upset by the Heat, he was great in the playoffs. Last year. His numbers were fantastic. Always a postseason performer, huge in big games for them. But the Bucks, they were led by Damian Lillard with 31 points and 16 assists. But Bobby Portis off the bench, it was unbelievable. Off the bench, he scored 25 points in his first 10 minutes off the bench, finished with 31 and 10. The Bucks ended the game with 24 out of 41 three-pointers. Just sick shooting. But when looking at the Suns, this was just, for me personally, this was just really, really disappointing.
I don't know. It seemed like a tough game going in for them. They're on the road trip. They are going against one of the top teams in the East, obviously. Why do you feel that? Why do you think it was such a step in the wrong direction?
Because in the first half, they showed no energy and no effort at all. When you look at all the threes for the Bucks, most of them were wide open. They were wide open. The Suns' offense, it was very solid. I believe they had an assist on each of their first 11 made baskets, which was great. Their offense was very, very solid, but their defense was just horrible. I mean, 82 points without Giannis, that's absurd. And like, I know Giannis, and you give up 18 threes as well. I know Giannis isn't a three-point shooter, but Giannis, the reason why the Bucks should get a lot of their three-point shots are because, Giannis penetrates and kicks it outside to his shooters. The fact that the Bucks made 18 threes without their main, passer is ridiculous. And I think it says a lot about the Suns' defense.
Yeah.
I know we always talk about the Suns and like they're going to be one of the most dangerous teams come playoff time because they have the stars. I'm getting more and more worried about the Suns every time they do something like this. You're playing against the Bucks, who, yes, have a really good team around them. And how often are you going to go against a Bobby Portis who's going to drop 30 points? However, it's still a beatable team with those guys that the Suns have.
The Suns, I don't know. They seem like they haven't been able to just figure out the basic rotations from the beginning of the year. I mean, they've tried to get Bol out there. They've got guys like, I mean, they made the move for Royce and Nasir Little at the break. Royce has done his job, I think.
Royce has been playing great, yeah.
Royce, I mean, the game Sunday was probably his first good game since being with the Suns. He'd been really cold shooting the ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he was doing pretty good.
I mean, I might be wrong.
As well.
So I want to make sure I'm not. You might
not
be right, Jackson.
Stat-wise, but like just
either
having
way,
that presence out there, yeah.
The depth that I mean, I know Nurkic is supposed to be their guy in the middle. That was always the biggest question mark going into the year, and he hasn't even. I would say he's overperformed. His value has been higher than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
and they're still
Nurkic has been good.
They're still just kind of questionable in too many aspects.
Like KD's gonna do. KD's gonna go out there, score all the points if you want. And D Book's been playing great too, but I just don't know. It just has not been translating into wins. I don't know what the issue is.
I think
Beal was looking good too in that game as well. He was penetrating inside. I guess one thing to note, which is crazy, Kevin Durant in 41 minutes of action, 11 points. He didn't take a single shot in the fourth quarter for the first time since, I believe, 2009. And that's just crazy to think about.
I think that's what the coaches and he has to look at come playoff time. Be like, yeah, this is not going to happen again. This can't happen again, or we're going to be out of the playoffs in the first round.
So one thing the Suns do have going for them is the fact that Okogie has been hurt, so he wasn't here for this game, and he is, I think, a pretty crucial piece of their rotation. But
yeah,
the other thing is the sort of inherent problem with this roster is that you have a team where Kevin Durant is essentially your second best defender. I mean, you're relying on Eubanks in the paint, and Durant is the next guy up if he's going to get beat. So I think that is like just baseline. That's the problem. You don't have a good defensive squad and no one to really stop the ball from getting to the rim.
So come playoff time, it's going to be a big problem.
Yeah. And I did the rotation thing for the Suns as well because I was curious with how they were playing their guys. And in the first half, they were rotating their guys pretty normally, but obviously it did not go well. In the second half, the Bucks, they kept it rolling. They were up by 21 points midway through the third quarter. The Suns had played, their normal starting five all the way through that point. The Suns called a timeout, and they did not play a center the rest of the game, which I found very interesting. They cut Eubanks, Bol, and Nurkic completely out of the rotation, and they ran exclusively with they ran exclusively small with either Durant or even like Ish Wainwright played a couple of minutes at the 5. Like that's really all and it worked. The Suns got back in the game because for most of the second half, it was Booker, Beal, Allen, O'Neal, and Durant, and sometimes they had Eric Gordon in there as well. So they basically ran a 7-man rotation in the second half, and they got back in the game. They had it down to 6 with a minute to go in the third. Then Damian Lillard just went crazy to end the third quarter. But I'm with you, Joey. I am worried about this Suns team. They're now 7-7 in their last 14. They're not playing consistent basketball.
You were saying they have that that's their best rotation, that small ball rotation. That's not gonna work come playoff. You're not beating Denver with that rotation.
You're not beating Sacramento with that rotation. Sabonis will eat your insides alive if you're going to run 7 guys and Nurkic, Bull, and Eubanks aren't in that rotation.
Yeah.
Well, so what the Suns were doing is they were just putting the Bucks tried to play, bigs to counter with that, with Lopez, and obviously Portis in the second half. But the Suns just kept getting those guys in isolation, and they kept cooking them. So that's where those centers could get played off the floor in a playoff scenario. Well, not Jokic.
Yeah. I was about to say, there's a couple guys that are like that. Where
Joel Embiid will.
I did get an update. Joel Embiid just returned to practice. He's looking for an April return.
Oh,
good. That's good news.
Goody.
But when you're talking about the centers, Jokic won't get beat like that. Or if he does, like his offensive output, like they run the offense through him. Kind of almost like the same thing with like a Sabonis. I know they have De'Aaron Fox, but having a guy like Sabonis who can pass, move, agile a little bit, and even I'll even say Chet Holmgren. Like the guys that can keep up with like a one-on-one isolation like that. Those are 3 guys. If you run that small ball and even if it's working, it's not sustainable like that against especially even those teams.
Yeah, the small ball will only take you so far. But again, just disappointing from the Suns. I mean, in the second half, they played a lot better. They scored 69 points themselves in the second half, but just the fact that the Bucks just the fact that the Bucks were able to get basically anywhere and everywhere they wanted. It's just a little troubling if you're a Suns believer or Suns fan. I guess before we move on, I know I think when we did the contender or pretender episode, I believe it was Joey and Jackson. Both of you guys said that the Bucks were not contenders. Do you guys change your minds at all?
Eat those words.
I will take back my statement and I'll put him as a contender. Because if Middleton is going to play like that and come back and be crucial without Giannis, you don't even
keep throwing up those L's. Like you don't make the worst takes of all time.
Name one.
Tyrese Maxey's a top 3 player in the NBA. Johnson's just the 20th best player in the NBA.
When did we do that? We did those rankings at that time.
And Tyrese Maxey was
the first week of the season.
He wasn't a top 3. He's never been a top 3 NBA player.
He was top 3 in the first week of the season.
And Doncic was the 20th player.
This is correct.
That was.
Oh man.
I will for sure take my statement back on the Bucks being a pretender.
I will too.
Yeah.
That's just gonna make my Eastern Conference predictions look better when they finish it too.
Yeah, I'm excited. On Wednesday night, the Bucks and Celtics play on ESPN, so that's going to be a fun matchup to look out for. That I'm sure will.
Actually, I look back. I had the Celtics at 1, or the Bucks at 1, but it doesn't really matter if they're flip-flopped because my West rankings are the best. So.
No one cares right now, Jackson.
Everyone
Sorry
cares.
to tell you.
Yeah, because Nick's running his mouth like a stupid idiot.
Said a word.
The stupid idiot.
Oh my. Okay, let's go back to Saturday night. With the Golden State Warriors and the LA Lakers. I know you guys may not have been able to catch this game too much.
I didn't watch any of it.
There was some drama.
I was gone this weekend, so I didn't watch any basketball. Sorry.
I just didn't watch basketball.
Well, yeah, Jackson's
retired.
Jackson's retired, and his team has been killing it.
Okay.
Not that he would know.
Not that he would know.
Not that he would know.
Final scores and everything, Nick.
But this was a great game. Really most of the way. Steph and LeBron were going at it back and forth, especially in the third and fourth quarters. But the big thing that really has to be talked about is when we got under the 2-minute mark, there were back-to-back reviews, which took about 11 to 15 minutes of real time. And
Ridiculous.
Both of the reviews were things that fans could tell on the first replay. We could tell what the right call was on the first replay. Then after that, when they finally got back to playing, the shot clock was not working at the Crypto.com arena.
LeBron would mention, "I'm too old for this stuff."
Yes. The shot clock wasn't working. They tried to play 4 times. It was not working. So eventually they just gave a stopwatch to the Lakers PA announcer and had him call out the stuff. But by the time they got back to playing, it was nearly 28 minutes of real time, and 3 seconds had gone off the clock. So by the time they finished up the game, I mean, the Warriors had a 7-point lead at this point. They ended up winning by 7 because all the momentum was just taken away. And I really, the shot clock stuff, I mean, that's just uncontrollable. The shot clock's just, sometimes it's not going to work. But I was wondering, you guys, with the long, prolonged reviews, what do you guys think could be done about this? Because there's no way that a review...
No more reviews. No more reviews.
Okay.
Here's what would be my...
Junkyard dog style.
It'll never happen because money rules everything, but the only reason the reviews seem like they take forever is because there's so much downtime as it is. Like, if there wasn't as much downtime, then we could afford a little bit at the end, we could accept it. And maybe not 28 minutes like we're talking about here, but when coaches are calling, we get 7 timeouts a game or whatever. Give them 4 timeouts, man. We don't need to be calling all these timeouts.
What?
So,
I see what he's saying. The amount of times I've seen where it's okay, there's a minute-long timeout. Okay, 2 baskets go by. Okay, another timeout. You literally 30 seconds has passed in real NBA time, and there's been 2 timeouts. Why do we need this?
Strategy.
No one wants to sit there while you
I
huddle up for
understand.
3 minutes.
I think my opinion is, and it's my opinion for a lot of things, but get the old head referees out of there. We need some new bloods. We need guys that can actually see the review screen clearly and get the call right, so it doesn't take 15 to 20 minutes.
I'll go ref some games.
Well, honestly,
so you guys are blaming the refs.
So I don't think we should. I'm not blaming the refs because I think another reason why I think it took forever is because of I think they have a protocol that they have to go through before they can even see the plays, which I think is ridiculous. You should be able to just pull up the play. In my personal opinion, you should probably be able to go to one of the broadcast booths because they get the replays.
Here's what.
No, go ahead.
If you really want to speed up, just give the refs an earpiece and have someone else who isn't even at the arena watch the replay, someone who works for the league, and then you buzz in the call to their ear.
They used to do that. I remember on the broadcast or whatever and all that kind of stuff, they would literally go to Secaucus in New Jersey and literally just get feed from the NBA, and then they would just tell the broadcast what they would do, and it's just why can't we have agreed? Why can't we have an earpiece? You go look at the replay yourself, but also have an earpiece of an NFL or not an NFL, NBA referee in a secluded area watching it, telling you what he sees, so you have he's talking you through it while you're seeing it for the first time, so you don't have to look at it 10 to 20 times.
Right. Yeah. So this always comes up, the reviews and all that stuff, and the length of time that it takes to review, and I have always been of the opinion that it's important to get the call right, but I'm also if we see it on the first replay, then we need to just hurry up and get play back going, and that's what I think is the big problem here, and I think that both your guys' ideas would maybe fix that.
Yeah, you're saying there's a part that's being lost, like the flow is being, and that's the important part that we can't sacrifice.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just a tough way for a great game to end. Nick, actually, so that
LeBron with a
timeout,
40 ball.
yeah, LeBron with the 40, he was great. That timeout thing, what would you think if they instead of having 7 timeouts the whole game, if it was 3 per half?
That would be a start. That would be, yeah, I'd like that idea.
That'd be good. That would be just a start. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I think that
Three and a half. Why would you need more than 3.5?
We're not saying they would.
They're already taking broadcast timeouts and official timeouts too. Like,
you know what? That's what they should do. They should have it so those timeouts don't count towards the team's timeouts, and then each team gets 2 timeouts a half or something like that.
yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
you already have like you already do like a bunch of broadcast timeouts, anyways, and official timeouts, and they don't even charge the 7 timeouts that they get.
Yeah, like the minimum for games is basically 8 timeouts because they have media timeouts at the 7-minute and 3-minute mark at the next stoppage. So it's a minimum of 8 timeouts already. So you could that's basically an average of 2 timeouts per half anyways.
Exactly.
So that could work. I haven't that could be something that the league could look at. They should tune into this. They should hear our opinions on this.
Get Adam Silver on the line.
Oh yeah.
Now this is why I'm turning to become a referee. This is why. I don't want this to happen.
We got ideas, Adam. Pick up the phone.
Also,
Adam Silver, come on the podcast. We got some things we need to talk about.
Yeah, come on, Adam. You know what?
Yeah.
Actually, before we move on, I forgot. So, I was at the Cavs Pistons game in Detroit.
Oh boy.
A couple weeks ago, and Adam Silver was at the game. Like I was. Shout out to our boy Jack.
Yes,
I was with Jack in the concourse, and Adam Silver just walked behind us, like right past us. We're like, why is Adam Silver in Detroit for a Cavs Pistons game?
He's scouting who he's gonna relegate next year.
Right.
He was scouting the Cavs.
I guess final game that we can quickly touch on, a game that we were kind of previewing a little bit in the last podcast, was the New York Knicks and the Sacramento Kings, the offense versus defense game. Jalen Brunson went crazy, going for 42 points.
He's the best.
Speaking of offense,
leading the Knicks
best
to the
player ever behind Alperen Şengün.
Leading the Knicks to the victory, Jalen Brunson. But OG Anunoby re-aggravated his elbow injury that he had already missed a bunch of games for. So he's going to be out for another little while here. Jackson, what are your thoughts on your New York Knicks?
Don't change. They don't change one bit. Not worried. Just means we're going to see more Josh Hart.
Dude, this was super impressive stuff from New York. I mean, holding the Kings, who are one of the league's best offenses, to 91. They only shot 35% from the field in this game. Hit 30 of 85 free throws.
They've held the last 4 games. They've held their teams to under 95. 3 of those games being under 80.
Well, how many times have they also scored under 80 themselves in the stretch? Because their offense.
Well, yeah, once.
It was once.
Well, yeah, under 80. But they haven't been lighting it up either, is my point.
They don't need to play. If they can play that good of defense and outscore their opponents, putting up barely more points, it's still a win.
What I expect out of it.
How many points? But
what I expect out of it's his
team.
I was going to say,
team.
Yeah. Thibodeau, this is exactly what we got. This is exactly what I expect.
As much as I hate Julius, he's going to come back for playoffs, and their offense is going to be right back in it.
They get Mitchell Robinson too. That just
exactly. Doesn't work. Don't me.
No. So I was gonna pose a question to you guys. And this is just hypothetically, if because we don't know when these guys are gonna be back. I'm sure they're gonna be back for the playoffs. Their conditioning may be a little bit off because there's nothing like game speed.
Mitchell Robinson's a conditioned animal.
But look,
he's the best.
the Knicks have been one of the best teams in the NBA when OG Anunoby has been in the lineup. If he or Mitchell Robinson or Julius Randle or multiple of those guys are not in the lineup for a playoff series, can they still win a playoff series if they're missing those guys?
Yes, I think current roster can win a playoff series.
I think it's dependent on the matchup. Like
they still have an insane bench. Their starting lineup is still good, and they play with a ton of hustle and good defense. It's not like.
I think so because they're gonna have a top 4 seed.
Yeah.
I think Brunson can really do it. Most of it himself.
He
can carry Josh Hart when he plays a lot of minutes. He's huge.
Yeah, Josh Hart's huge.
He's perfect for a playoff lineup for them. I mean,
and he can play 48. Like Tibbs ain't no stranger.
He can literally play 48 minutes, which is crazy.
The current team they're gonna have, like the current team right now, it's not that much worse from it's just a little bit worse versions of the injured players that they have.
Yeah.
Hartenstein's you're like a little worse than Mitchell Robinson. I think Bogdanovich and Randall are really close. Like not really close, but they're really similar players.
Defensively, they're very close.
Offensively,
defensively they're really close because they don't play any.
Better defensively. Anyone's better defensively than the freaking Randall. Randall couldn't guard a parked car.
Yeah, man. The Knicks are going to have some decisions to make in the offseason. Isaiah Hartenstein, unrestricted free agent. So that'll be a key thing that they'll have to try to figure out.
They're not going to bring him back. They have Precious.
Precious, I'm pretty sure, is restricted.
So they'll bring back Precious.
Unless another team gives him crazy money.
Which if that happens, okay, then just use the money you were going to use to sign him and sign Hartenstein.
Hartenstein might... I'm wondering if Hartenstein might get a bigger deal from another team just to start. But I guess that's kind of hard to figure out.
I think Hartenstein should go to the Rockets. He's perfect for they need a big man.
They have Steve-O. They'll have Steven Adams for next year.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that trade.
Yeah, that random trade.
Forgot. Never mind.
It's a beautiful trade. We're gonna be even better next year. Hopefully.
I forgot. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Hopefully,
I guess with the Knicks thing,
LP plays.
With the Knicks thing, I'll go yes because they'll probably play the Magic in the first round. I know we love our Orlando Magic.
They curb stomped the
Magic.
Like a week ago.
Well, the Magic have also. The Magic have also.
About the Magic.
99-74, Nick.
I mean, the Magic have also curb stomped the Knicks as well. I'm pretty sure they've beaten them twice.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the Magic.
Where?
That's actually interesting. The Knicks or the Magic have the season series over the Knicks, so the Magic could.
Doesn't worry me in the slightest.
Oh, do they? Because now I'm gonna rechange my pick. I don't think the Knicks can win.
You are such a brick.
A series without one of their guys. Considering the fact that they have to deal with the Orlando Magic, who they lost to in the season series, I would have to say no.
That is right. The Magic did win the season series. So the Knicks, as we're recording this video, they're playing in Golden State tonight against the Warriors. That should be a fun game.
I don't know,
but if they lose that game, they will drop to 5, and the Magic will jump up to 4. DiVincenzo versus Clay.
It's a bucket. Yeah, Clay's a bum compared to DiVincenzo this year.
I will say, for at least back to the Knicks. Back to the Knicks. I would say yes as well. They could probably win a series because offensively, Brunson can carry him. DiVincenzo could go off for a game or two. Josh Hart is a dog, and their defense isn't changing. So I would probably say they could still take a series.
Their defense isn't changing, but when they get Mitch Rob back, watch
out. This is if they don't have those guys.
Y'all better hope you don't run into them in the playoffs. When Mitch Rob comes back, he's the Cavaliers' daddy.
Good thing he'll be a 4 seed and the Cavs will be 2 or 3, so they're on opposite brackets. You got to get through you got to get through the Celtics. You got to get through the Celtics first.
That's the thing. The Cavs and Knicks. It's a very slim chance that they play each other this year.
Don't worry me.
Thank God.
Kristaps Porzingis is not a good rebounding center. You know who is? Mitchell Robinson. That's what I say.
Boston has more
Kristaps
players.
Porzingis is going to drop 40 every single game against the Knicks as revenge.
Boston's better than the New York Knicks.
No, they're not.
Bro, they're the best team in the league. They're literally
I hope we
better
get to
than
find
everyone.
out. That'll be a fun series.
I would love to see KP versus the Knicks again.
I think we will. I mean, Porzingis has killed the Knicks this season.
So I want to see it again. I want to see it for
games.
a 7-game series.
I do as well. Moving on, let's talk about a couple news stories. One last thing on the court stuff. Bam Adebayo, I guess yesterday he made a game-winning 3 at the buzzer. He has now made 4 threes in 4 straight, or a 3 in 4 straight games. Which when he made like 3 each of his last 3 seasons combined. Is Bam now a 3-point shooter, guys?
Yes. Better than Tyler Hero. Better than Tyler Hero.
What was said about Tyler Hero? Don't disrespect Tyler Hero.
Bam Adebayo is a better 3-point shooter than Tyler Hero.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's not true.
Dude, that's actually crazy. So Bam...
No, I don't believe that. I'm kidding.
Bam, before this season, made 8 threes total in his first 6 years in the league, and he's made 4 threes in, like, the last week.
I'm kind of concerned that the Heat, with Bam and Terry and Tyler Hero and Duncan Robb, they only could beat the Pistons by 3.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy definitely makes a difference.
Yeah.
The Heat, I just don't think that the Heat can replicate what they did last year if they have to go in the play-in tournament and go through. And in my opinion, I don't think that they can replicate what they did last year because last year was just so magical.
It's crazy because, I mean, obviously you couldn't have predicted them doing that last year and nothing would have indicated them to go on that run. So, I mean, they're kind of in the same boat where, like, you know what I mean? Like, you saying that can obviously, like, mean something. Like, we don't think that it's going to happen, but no one did last year either. So it could happen again.
It definitely could happen again if they get, if they get all the right matchups.
It just does seem a little inconsistent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But they are only a half game out of a 6, so.
I want to mention one thing that happened last week because
Sam
Hauser became the first player in NBA history to hit 10 3-pointers in under 23 minutes.
Dude, yesterday, so Sam Hauser, he hit 10 threes, like, by the 7:41 mark of the third. Then he injured his ankle and had to miss the rest of the game.
Oh,
so
man.
he had 10 threes, like,
Could've
5
kept
minutes
going.
into the third. He could have kept going.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
He got injured. He probably would have had the record.
That would have been if Sam Hauser held the NBA record for 3. I don't know what
he was 10 of 13.
I mean, 10 for 13 in 23 minutes. Shout out to Sam Hauser, man.
Was anyone guarding him? Who? Like what?
It was the Lizards.
It was the Washington Wizards. So it
was Jordan Poole.
Cal was out there.
Don't start. Don't.
It was Jordan Poole.
He's been way better.
What did Jordan Poole have in this game?
I love that you're going to give credit to Jordan Poole for doing better, but when we talk about Jalen Green doing better, you're like, yeah, but that's just recently.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Jordan Poole. He had 31 points in 23 minutes. He has been balling. Back in the starting lineup with a bunch of goodness gracious, the Wizards are dreadful. Like with they're injured. Bilal Coulibaly's done for the season. It was announced before we started recording. So, they have Jordan Poole. Corey Kispert is their second best player, and like their third best player, it's like Rashawn Holmes and Anthony Gill.
Playing good.
It's bad. It's bad.
Gill's not good.
I don't recognize any of these dudes.
Like Eugene Omoruyi. Oh yeah, he's injured too. Eugene Omoruyi. That's a name.
He's been playing well.
He played well for Detroit last year.
Yeah, he was number 97. I always liked him, and he looks good.
I remember seeing that number last year. I was like, well, who's wearing 97 in an NBA game?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the definition of choosing violence.
Well, it's like a Taj Gibson. He's worn the number 67 for like 7 years. Who wears the number 67?
Taj Gibson does.
Well, yeah, Taj Gibson apparently. Some off the court news. We had a little bit of a teaser today of something that I am very excited for, and it is a collaboration between LeBron James and JJ Redick on a new podcast, a brand new podcast. I want to make sure. Do you guys know the name of it? I want to make sure I have the right name.
Mind the Game. Mind the Game podcast, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is the Mind the Game podcast. Yes, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be sounds like strictly on like basketball strategy, the real things that like the basketball nerds and junkies like us would find really interesting. So super excited for that. I've really wanted to see those two get together to do a podcast at some point, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a one-off thing. Apparently, this is going to be a weekly podcast, so it's going to be really exciting.
JJ is going to carry incredibly hard.
Don't disrespect my king like that.
Dude, I don't know. I don't want to know LeBron's basketball takes yet.
It's not his takes. We've all talked about his IQ. It's like what Miles said. They're going to be talking strategy, like what goes on inside the huddle and stuff. So his IQ, this is exactly what I want to know from LeBron.
True.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. First episode, I guess drops today by the time we're releasing this. They might come out at the same time. So
we got competition.
They got competition.
They got competition.
Bro.
Dude, can we talk about how JJ Redick has just taken over the national basketball media in such a short amount of time?
I love it though.
I love it too.
When someone smart actually talks about basketball.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I'd rather him than Kendrick Perkins.
I'd rather him than probably anyone else.
Anybody, yeah.
Honestly, he is such great knowledge of the game.
For us, it's obviously so cool because it's like our hero combining with like the face that we most recognize today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In media, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be
national
great.
media and the sports media, ESPN and all that has gone downhill so much since when we were a kid that it's nice to see someone that actually knows what they're talking about and not just making takes to get the likes, dislikes, and
wait till they get Draymond on there.
Yeah, literally.
Those three together.
Some of my favorite videos are like the 17-minute clips on YouTube. It's just JJ Redick being correct over Stephen A. Smith for 17 minutes. The classic Bob Cousy stuff that was like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He was arguing with someone on ESPN about Joel Embiid versus Wilt or something like that. That was a lot of fun. He's just such a great guy to listen to. So shout out to JJ and LeBron. We had a couple, I guess, surprising 10-day contract signings over the last couple days with Isaiah Thomas back in the league, going to the Suns, back with Phoenix.
He's gonna help their defense.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, I love IT. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him.
Keeps working hard and he keeps getting rewarded, man. I mean, I don't know how long he'll stick with the Suns. I mean, like we talked about earlier, their defense has been garbage, and he may be the worst defender in NBA history. But he's a bucket. He's a point guard. He could help them in some ways. Yeah. So we'll see how that can play out. So shout out to IT getting back in the league, and Marcus Morris Sr. signing 10-day with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Something that kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting the Cavs to make a buyout signing at all, but I like it. I mean, for buyout signing, which usually you don't get many great options, I think that it's a good addition.
Yeah, I mean, depth and experience, and he's not a liability on the court, so there you go.
Also only 10 days, so hopefully maybe we can sign him for the rest of the year come playoff time.
I think he is eligible for the playoffs because he got bought out before March 1st. So my guess is that they'll sign him to 2 10 days before giving him the full rest of the year deal so they can evaluate. But yeah, as we're recording, Marcus Morris in his first 17 minutes, 14 points with 4 threes.
Hey.
So shout out.
Already
Marcus
a Cavs
Morris,
legend.
Already a Cavs legend. Former
Cemented.
Rockets legend. Former Rockets legend. Dude, he was talking in his first Cavs interview that he picked Cleveland because of his relationship with JB Bickerstaff, which started in Houston. So thank you, Rockets.
Shout out Houston.
Thank you,
Shout out to
JB.
Houston.
Thanks for beating our butt this weekend.
Yeah, I guess we gotta. Yeah, shout out to the Rockets. You beat us. We don't
The
care.
Shingunless Rockets.
We don't care. We don't care about these games. Let's get to our draft. We're doing another draft today.
Oh yes.
In honor of Kyrie Irving's ridiculous game-winning shot yesterday against the Nuggets, we are going to draft NBA game winners. So we're each going to draft 5 game winners. Nick has the first pick, Joey second, Jackson third, myself fourth, and we're going serpentine, so we'll round back around on the other side. This should be fun, man. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna build out my team, but this should be fun.
Yeah, let's just get into it. I'll start. So this was difficult. There was basically 3 shots I could have gone with. And the 2 iconic MJ shots, I'm going to go against the grain and pick the Kawhi buzzer beater over the Sixers. Because, a modern-day Kyrie Irving super crazy shot with the left hook like we talked about. I just think that I need to go with a modern-day other crazy shot that hung on the rim, that made Joel Embiid cry.
That's why that's why it was Jackson's pick.
That's why it was my pick.
So I got Kawhi's crazy shot.
Wow.
That's a great first pick.
Wow. How many were we doing, by the way? 5?
We'll go 5, like a starting lineup.
Okay. Well, so I had like 3 that I was gonna take 1 or something like that, or for my first. But because Nick didn't take the shot, I'm gonna take the shot. Michael Jordan over. They're basically the same shot, but I'm gonna go for the Cavs one specifically just because.
Oh, not the ankle breaker in the NBA Finals?
I like the Cavs one better too.
No, because that's the legit one where Michael Jordan is the one jumping up, Craig Elo behind him falling on the ground, and MJ just pumping his fist.
It is an iconic
It was an
shot.
elimination one too.
It was I think it was Game 5 or Game 7, whatever it was. It's an elimination one though, so I think it was Game 5.
It was
best of 3.
Yeah, back in I believe 1989.
Correct.
It
was 89.
It was 89.
May 7th.
Yeah.
1989. I just wrote it down.
May 7th, 1989.
Man, that was one of, besides like until LeBron got here, that was like the best Cavs team. Like
that was the most
history.
iconic Cavs moment.
Yeah, and
that
was
LeBron got here.
That one hurts me the most, so that's my pick.
All right.
Jackson is transportating.
Yes, he is changing location
All
on
right,
the spot with his
the house
pick.
tour. Let's go.
Shut up.
All right, is
Shut up.
Well, now, dude, I don't know what to do.
Oh man. Well, it is your pick, Jackson.
Yeah, well, Nick's actually a loser for taking my pick. Dude, that's so stupid. Dude,
You thought you were gonna get us.
No, Miles knew what it was.
He did. He told me, and I was like, okay, if it comes to me, I won't pick it. But I can't promise that the other 2 won't.
No, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take. In my opinion, the most clutch shot ever. You can argue, well, it's not Ray Allen. I think Kyrie against the Warriors. That'll be my first pick.
Game 7. Yep.
That's kind of. It helped LeBron's legacy so much. It helped Kyrie's legacy so much. And it kind of like.
It helped Cleveland's legacy.
The only thing that dilutes that shot for me is the block that came 30 seconds later. But it's a great shot regardless.
Before.
Yeah,
it
was before.
Oh, really?
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 89-89. Yeah.
My bad.
Well, it was 89-89 for an eternity.
I think I just watched it like a couple weeks ago. It's literally like, it's my favorite clip. It's like literally the last like 5 or 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. And it like, with 5 minutes left, it's 89-89. And then it finishes 93-89.
Most Cavs fans, I'm sure, go back and watch that probably once every couple months. It just randomly reappears on the feed.
Yeah,
I do too.
I will say, this obviously doesn't count because this wasn't a made shot, but the biggest, like probably greatest play in NBA Finals history, or one of the most satisfying ones for Cavs fans, would have been if LeBron finished that poster over Draymond Green in the final 10 seconds of Game 7.
Yeah.
But Draymond fouled him, so he wouldn't get the dunk. But I wish he finished that play because that would have been incredible.
Miles, you got 2 picks.
I do have 2 picks, and this is really difficult. I'm gonna go. My first pick, I am going to pick the Damian Lillard Oklahoma City shot in 2019. The bye-bye to the Thunder.
That started the whole Paul George meme of
That's
the
a good shot.
Game winners on him.
The playoff P moments.
No, the game winners on Paul George. The whole 13-minute compilation.
Dude, this shot is legendary because not only did it end the Thunder's season, it was kind of an upset thing. I know the Blazers were a higher seed than the Thunder that year, but the Blazers were not expected to win that series, and they completely dominated. Not only did it end their season, it completely changed their franchise. That summer, Paul George requested a trade. Russell Westbrook got traded. They got into this rebuild, and obviously now they're back up at the top of the Western Conference, so it all worked out. But it's crazy that one shot like this at the buzzer from, I believe it was 37 feet away, a step back 3 to the right, which is just a crazy shot, put a team away for essentially, it's been 5 years since they've...
half a decade?
Yeah. Crazy
That's
stuff,
wild.
man.
One shot, half a decade. See a franchise, see an organization.
Yeah. My next shot, I think I'm gonna go with a similar type of shot against OKC. I'm going with Steph Curry 2016.
Oh, the one I was talking about before the pod, yeah.
I'm going with the Steph Curry 2016 because this
double
was
bang.
Another crazy. Yes.
That's the double bang.
He gets the double bang. Cool beans.
This might have been the first double bang ever. The first double bang ever.
You know what I'm about to have the first and second most iconic shot of all time. I'm taking Ray Allen against the Spurs.
Nice.
Well,
that's not a game winner.
It was not a game winner. That tied the game.
That went to overtime. That's not a game winner.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Shut up.
Why us?
Why us? You literally told us
you
the
made
rules
the bad
beforehand was a minute left.
Miles said the
in
rules.
The game.
Miles said the rules, not me.
I said go ahead shot.
I know what I'm taking.
All right.
I'm taking Derrick Rose against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Banking shot.
That's a good shot.
Because the face he made after that was just iconic and.
Ice cold, no light work, no reaction.
Yeah, no, it's just hysterical. I was watching that. That was one of the first playoff games I watched on TV.
Core memory.
Yeah, it's a core memory for sure.
Yeah, good pick there.
Of course, it's a good pick. I mean,
Joey, you got a pick?
You goofball.
Do I pick the other shot, like Jordan over the Jazz, the ankle breaker?
That's what Nick's gonna do if you don't pick it. That's what Nick's gonna do.
No, I can't. I'm not gonna do that. I'll let someone else have another Jordan shot. I'm gonna take the one from this year, a month ago, the one I saw in person, the Max Strus 60-foot half-court, more than half-court heave, buzzer beater to beat the Dallas Mavericks. I was in attendance.
Nice.
That's a core memory for me.
Hell yeah.
I just capped off a 5-for-5 3-point perfect shooting from the fourth quarter, like the ultimate heat check.
I still can't believe that happened.
And then a week later, Dean Wade basically did the same thing.
Yeah, just without the
Yeah,
half-court
with
shot.
the flip.
All right.
Without the buzzer beater, but yeah,
What's the
that's
flips?
truth.
Give me the cross against the Jazz in the
Oh, he
finals.
is going with it. All right.
Give me the
Yippee.
cross. Give me the Jordan cross.
Great pick, sir.
And
Cool
then
beans.
my second pick is Dame making another appearance. The 13-14 shot over
Dude.
the Houston Rockets.
I
Send
wanted to
them
take
home,
that
baby.
so bad too.
That
My
was my
God,
next pick.
Houston.
That was my next pick. That was my next pick.
And talk about, I mean, I can remember that play. That play, Dame just naked running towards the ball. No one within like 5 feet of the dude. How do you leave him that open, Jackson? I mean,
Chandler Parsons was
I'm gonna
talking with
smack you.
Patrick Beverly about how they were gonna switch the screen, and then Dame just started
Dude.
running.
I'm gonna smack this kid here in a second.
Oh man.
Doesn't
Okay, so
Stop it.
let's see. Wait, you took the Derrick Rose over the Cavs, right?
Of course.
Are you going
I'll
the game
take
after?
LeBron over the Bulls in that same
Fine.
playoff series.
That's not even the best LeBron game winner, so thank you.
No,
That
it's
is
not.
true.
But sorry, to me, it is iconic because that's like the first that started it all. That was the only series that gave us trouble, and that was huge for us to win that.
Could have gone down 3-1
mm-hmm.
in that
That was
series.
yeah, I was gonna say that tied the series.
Yeah, unbelievable shot there.
And my favorite part was while they're all celebrating, Tristan Thompson almost chokes out LeBron, comes up behind him, puts the arm bar, nearly just brings him back and chokes him out.
Yeah.
Oh man! All
So,
right,
for
Jackson.
my next pick, I have one of the craziest shots. People often debate if it counted or not, but they counted in the game, so I'm going to say it's a game winner.
Yeah.
It's Derek Fisher against the Spurs.
Ooh,
Good one.
Hey,
No.
good pull, Goglin. Good pull.
I
don't like giving you credit a lot of time, but that was good.
No, you're going to give me credit when I do.
I have
That is a
to.
good one.
I have to. Even though it was against my Spurs.
A 70-71 affair. Derek Fisher
That's
rises up and
crazy.
hits a fadeaway.
Dude, and that overshadows an insane Tim Duncan made a crazy fadeaway shot. And everyone thought, "Oh, the game's over," but nope, Derek Fisher. I don't even know the implications. Would the Lakers have gone down in that series if
The series was tied at 2 apiece.
after he made the shot, right? Was that game 4 or game 5?
This was game 5 in San Antonio.
Oh, so did the Lakers win the series in 6 games or 7?
This Tim Duncan shot is crazy.
It is crazy.
The
Tim
Derek
Duncan
Fisher
shot looks like
crazy.
Kyrie shot.
What? The when he's just throws it up with his right hand.
He's going left and throws it up with his right. The only difference is that Kyrie used his left.
Yeah.
And this is over Shaq.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one where he's got his arm out, his other leg. It looks like he's doing a jumping jack in midair, and he throws it up with the right hand.
Yeah, and this completely changed the complexion of the series because I just checked. The Lakers then went home and won that series. So
wow.
Derek Fisher misses the shot. They could end up losing in the second round. Is that the second round?
What can I say? Another stellar pick. What can I say?
Yeah.
Great pick. Good job.
Great pick.
Good pick, Goglin. All right, I've got
3 for 3, baby.
Once
So
again.
this is okay, hold on. This debated whether it should have counted or not. Derek Fisher shot?
Yeah, people say he got it off after.
Wow.
Well, the time where we had no reviews.
It was 0.4 on the clock, and he caught it facing the out of bounds line, turned and shot fading away. Under 0.4, that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Hey, counted, so I'm counting it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Lakers lost that year anyways to the Pistons. Is that or I guess that's a debate we could have in the offseason. Is that the most the team with the most names at the top to never win it? That might be the most
Gary
disappointing.
Payton. It was Gary Payton, Karl Malone, right?
Yeah, Gary Payton, Kobe, Karl Malone, and Shaq.
Kobe, Shaq.
Yep.
That's rough.
And Derek
Fisher.
Yep.
Derek Fisher.
Yeah. D Fish.
All right, Miles,
Kind
you
of
got
crazy
two?
that Derek Fisher's the
Yes,
one taking that
two.
shot with all those people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. So I got 2 picks. My first pick is going to be, I would argue, probably LeBron's greatest game
Oh,
winner
never mind.
in the playoffs.
Orlando.
No.
Yes, I'm going Orlando. I'm going with the
Even though
The
09
Orlando one.
Orlando.
Pacers like the same shot though. It's weird, but it just must.
It's my favorite game winner of all time.
It is.
It's
His celebration
incredible.
afterwards to Varejao.
Then why wouldn't you pick that one first? Why would you pick Kawhi? You
Because I'm competing.
such a jerk, dude. I wanted Kawhi.
But no, that shot,
With Kyrie.
LeBron, man, that was insane, dude. Like the Cavs, I mean, they ended up losing that series. It was such a disappointing, series loss. But they would have gone down 2-0 because who was it? Was that the Rashard? Or no, Hito Turkoglu made a crazy tough mid-range pull-up with a second to go. Then LeBron comes down and just nails a crazy 3, and then they go to Orlando with the series tied at 1 apiece. Such a classic game winner. And even though, too young to really, remember or know the moment, I'm sure if you're in the arena when that ball was going up, that had to be the most dead silent anticipated shot by, the crowd ever. And then just absolute explosion from the cue.
I was a big Dwight Howard fan at the time, so I really wanted to go to that game as well. I wanted to go to that series to see him.
Speaking of Dwight Howard,
no!
I am actually going to go with a Dwight Howard game winner next. In 2007, he made an alley-oop game winner at the buzzer over Tim Duncan. Yeah. I'm going to pick Dwight Howard over Tim Duncan.
That was an alley-oop from the inbound.
Yes, the classic spin around.
Okay.
Jackson, have you ever seen that before?
Yes.
Oh, insane.
Just the fact that it was over Tim Duncan, who one of Dwight Howard's idols at the time.
Dude, I can't believe this fell right into my lap. Dude, all right, with my next pick, not only was this like an iconic shot, but it was an iconic celebration. It's Kobe Bryant against the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick, does it hurt to have your pick stolen?
No, I got a better one.
When he did the fist, that was dude.
Running down the court, yeah.
It's iconic.
It is.
And it gave him a 2-1 series lead, right?
3-1. No, your pick, buddy.
3-1?
Yeah,
smack you. I'm actually about to smack you in the face.
Didn't it? It gave him a 3-1 lead.
Your hat's
but
crooked.
Didn't? Oh my gosh, goggling. It gave them a 3-1 lead, but didn't it? Didn't they lose the series? As we have DJ Cove.
Doesn't matter.
We're
talking about the.
I'm not positive, but I do know that this game winner that Kobe hit was off of a jump ball at center court with 6 seconds left, and they were down 1. He just dribble right to that elbow, pull up. Okay, I'm up.
Crushing you guys right
no,
now.
I'm up.
Destroyed.
Oh, my bad.
I'm
You're
up.
getting absolutely destroyed right now.
I'm trying to think. I swear, there was one.
There's still some good ones on the board.
How many rounds are we doing?
We're doing 5, so we're in the middle of the 4th round right now.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
you only got one left.
Unless we want to have a 6-man.
Yes, please.
Oh
6
gosh.
Man. 6 man.
No, we'll see where we're at.
Yeah.
What freaking music is that, you goof?
Someone's going crazy at your place.
At your place, or I can hear people going crazy in my room, or next door.
That's you, then, Miles.
Yeah, it is. It's probably me. Did Jackson go to yell at people?
Probably.
Okay. All right, Joey. What's your next pick?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm trying to think. I don't really know. I'm struggling, to be honest.
It's tough for sure.
Like,
we can come back to you if you think of one.
Oh, I have one. I actually have one that no one's probably gonna think of. That
really?
I remember. I think I was at the game too, and it was Mo Williams against the Milwaukee Bucks hit like a mid-range buzzer beater shot. Again,
We're talking
I was there.
You have
We're
an
talking-
MJ pick on your roster, and you put Mo Williams on there.
Dude, we're talking
Regular
all-time game winners, and we're going Mo Williams in
Yeah.
post-LeBron.
Yeah.
It's a Joey pick right there.
It's a me pick. I was there. Core memory. Mo Williams against the Bucks in a random regular season game.
Have fun losing the draft.
Probably Brandon Jennings on him.
Probably
hit the shot over Brandon Jennings.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
I could hit a shot over.
I think it was actually like Luke and Mute or something like that.
Are you trying to make your pick sound
This is
better?
hilarious. All right, Nick's got his final two. These are going to be good. I can tell. I'm excited.
Shut up. Shut up. It's not going to be good. It's a Knicks pick.
The first one is Carmelo Anthony versus the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
When
nice.
he hit like 6 threes in between the fourth and overtime. I don't know if it was 6, but he hit a lot of like clutch threes to will them to the win. So that's my first one.
Anthony.
Yeah, Melo. And then the other one comes from the bubble when the Suns were playing the Clippers and Booker had his fall away, like his plank where he's laying on the ground.
Oh yeah, that fade
over
away.
The Clippers. It was a little fadeaway over Paul George and Kawhi, I think. That might not have been right, but it was definitely over PG and like another defender. It was a playoff in the bubble. I don't think it was an elimination, but it was definitely a big shot.
I think it might have just been a regular season game. Well, it was key for the Suns because remember that's when they went like 8-0 in the bubble but didn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Suns like first real start of like, ooh, we're actually pretty good. Let's trade for Chris Paul. And start contending. That's really where it started.
True.
I like my
pick
squad.
Is it?
It's pretty good. All right, Joey. Final one.
Oh, I was looking it up and I forgot about Larry Bird versus the Pistons.
Oh my lord.
Steal by Bird.
We're going back to the Stone Age. What is this?
Havlicek stole the ball.
That was up there. I almost picked that one.
Can we please get a 6-man just so Joey can have one more pick to help his team?
No, I don't want to hear another pick from Joey. He's really
we already have been going for a while.
What? You don't want me to pick like an Anderson Varejao game winner next?
Oh, dude, the Anderson Varejao 3-pointer.
The 3-pointer on LeBron.
Oh my gosh! All right, Jackson.
Shoot,
all right, Joey.
I don't know which one's better.
Oh man.
What is Joey's final pick?
One was a playoff game.
No one's picked Kyrie's.
No,
I literally picked Kyrie's.
No, Kyrie's from the other day.
You're an idiot.
Oh, fine. So you guys don't hate me. I'll take the Kyrie one from the other day.
All right, that's your 6-man. We're doing a 6-man round.
No, that was what Miles was asking. I was kind of kidding about the Bird one, but we don't have to.
All right.
Okay, wait. So you're going the Kyrie one from yesterday?
Yeah.
That's a good look. That is a good
one. I'll do the Kyrie one.
That's an insane shot.
Wait, you chose that?
There's also the one against the Thunder with the.
There's two more. There's two more in my mind that are like must be on here.
Let's hear him, buddy.
I'm gonna take Thunder versus the Nuggets in 2017. Russell Westbrook game winner from Steven Adams to cap off his 42nd triple-double. And it was a 50-point game.
Yeah. That was some season, man. I don't know if we'll ever actually see something like that again. Like, that was the first. No, but like triple doubles now. Like Russ was like really the first guy that's like made. He's like the last guy we'll probably see that's like, man, averaging a triple double. That's crazy. I feel like no one talks about that anymore. Even though Luka's averaging like nearly a 34-point triple double this year.
Well, Russ's was 31.
Yeah. And he was making his threes that year. That was his like last year where he could shoot the ball.
Not to mention, didn't he do it the next year too? Like where he averaged like triple double back-to-back years.
I mean, it's kind of
he's
just
had 4 years,
year.
4 seasons, 3 with OKC, 1 with the Washington Wizards.
That's wild.
Yeah, definitely wild. Oh man. Okay, final pick. There's still a
Final
lot
pick.
to pick from here. Uh
I'm excited for this
There's
one.
one. There's one. It clicked in my head when someone mentioned something else.
there's
But
a
it clicked
lot.
in my head.
Okay, I'm
Cause
gonna go with a game 7 game winner, one that was very very difficult. A bunch of over a bunch of elite defenders. I'm going with Chris Paul's game winner over the Spurs in Game 7 of 2015. He earlier in the game had hurt his quad, so he was playing the rest of the game hurt and injured so badly that he missed the first couple games of the next series against the Houston
Wow.
Rockets, but still had the power in the final seconds to make a wild floating shot off the glass over Danny Green and Tim Duncan, two all NBA defenders at the time, to send the Clippers to the second round to eventually blow a 3-1 lead to the Rockets. But that was a
That was a great pick.
crazy shot back in 2015. So shout out to CP3.
Dude, that was a very fun draft. I like that a lot.
Dude. Biggest snub. I was gonna pick it if my other picks weren't so fire. I think Luka against the Clippers should have been on there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The second
Double
I
bang?
think Nick said the bubble, I was like, oh, Luka.
Do you guys remember the D Wade one where he double clutched it against the Warriors with KD?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like his last game winner.
It got blocked actually, and then he got it back.
And then I was
another
thinking
one, I didn't include it on mine because it really didn't have much significance to anything other than them winning one game, but it was Anthony Davis's like double clutch
OKC.
3.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one of my favorite shots of all time.
So, yeah.
I had the some like snubs I had on here. I had a couple half court shots. I had Tyreek Evans and Devin Harris. Devin Harris got his shot like blocked, then had to just like throw it up in desperation, and it went in for the Nets.
Yeah.
He was
I
like
also
going backwards.
What was it? Jeremy Lamb's in Toronto.
Oh
that
yeah.
was like the half court buzzer beater one. That was a good one too.
It's very similar.
Jeez.
Again, Mo Williams clears everybody, but that's okay.
Dude, that was a crazy time we were living in when Kemba Walker was carrying the Hornets to like 10th seeds with Jeremy Lamb as a second best player.
What a time to be alive.
But like
That's
other
funny.
snubs, the value in 2021, the DeAndre
the DeAndre Ayton one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Playoffs, Dwayne Wade versus the Bulls in 2009. It was in like triple overtime. He got a steal, went down the other end, and made a one-legged floater 3 at the buzzer.
Oh man.
Random shot. That was, I'm pretty sure, his first game where he like went and jumped up on the scorer's table.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
This is my
house. Let's talk about
LeBron
within
Raptors.
10 days, LeBron hit one against the Raptors and the Pacers.
Somehow I was lucky enough to be at both games. Which was insane. Yeah. I still can't believe that. But yeah, man. Robert Horry. John Stockton's buzzer beater to beat the Rockets in '97 and send the Jazz to the finals. Pull up 3 at the buzzer, but yeah, a lot of fun, man. Let us know in the comments what you think, who you think had the best team, maybe other game winners that we missed. We should have, you know what, Joey? We should have a poll up for best game winners.
I'll put a poll on Instagram. Who has the better game winner? Michael Jordan's The Shot,
or Mo Williams,
Kawhi Leonard, Mo Williams.
Or
I guess we should.
Draft, which was me.
I guess we should.
I dominated that.
I guess we should like provide for the viewers. We should each like say what our team was since we went all the way through.
Crap, I already forgot.
Well, here, Jackson, I can say yours if you want.
No, I'm gonna remember this. Give me a second.
Let's see if I can remember mine.
Okay.
Yes, you go first, Nick. You go first.
MJ's shot. Oh no, Kawhi already messed up. It was Kawhi shot over the Raptors, and then MJ shot over the Jazz, and then Dame shot over Houston, and then I had Melo versus the Bulls, and I finished with Devin Booker over the Clippers.
Yep.
Devin Booker, low key
list.
killed you. That was a mid pick.
I had
That was a mid pick. I agree.
MJ's shot over the Cavs, LeBron over the Bulls,
Mo.
Mo Williams, obviously.
Mo Williams.
Max Strus.
Max Strus, and then Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Like the
This
other day.
list.
They all
We
know
involve the Cleveland Cavaliers in some way.
I'm sorry.
Jackson, we know who lost this challenge.
Wow.
Jackson, what your team?
I picked Kyrie first,
Lame.
then Derrick Rose. Wait, what was that, Joey?
Nothing. Keep going.
So I picked Kyrie, Derrick Rose, Derek Fisher.
You stole one from me. The LeBron one? Or did Miles pick that?
Oh, no, that was me.
Miles
No, Jackson, you did Kobe.
Oh yeah, the Kobe versus
yeah,
Suns.
Kobe and then Westbrook. That's the best one by far. It's not even close.
Kill yourself.
Bro, what?
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, no.
I was just joking.
That my team, I had the Damian Lillard shot versus the Thunder, the Steph Curry shot versus the Thunder, LeBron's Orlando shot in 2009, the Dwight Howard alley-oop over Tim Duncan, and the Chris Paul versus the Spurs in 2015. Overall, I think we all did a pretty good job.
It's one of those two.
I agree. I think we all did pretty evenly.
No.
Besides Mo Williams.
I think Miles and
Besides
Jackson.
Joey's list entirely.
Hey, I just want to say, in that game, when Mo hit that game winner, he pulled a Dwayne Wade and jumped on the scorer's table doing, "This is my time."
Okay, so it wasn't even an original pick.
Dude,
it wasn't even an original game winner.
I actually need to see now who he hit the game winner over.
I was gonna say I don't remember.
Like every single one of mine had it was either iconic or
man.
before Joey's just like no.
Mo Williams.
Let's see. Yeah, it was Brandon Jennings.
It was Brandon.
Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, he did just. Oh, man, what a time, man.
Who else could
that team had Monte Ellis on it then.
It did.
Jeez.
Real ones know Monte Ellis was a dog.
Dude.
Oh, man. But thank you guys so much for watching. Longer, fun episode. We'll definitely do more drafts like this in the future. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. In the description down below, we'll have links to the Spotify and the Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.